Welcome back. Today we're discussing a summary of Trustful Surrender to Divine Providence by Brother Jean-Baptiste. In this book, it basically breaks down what is God's providence, the benefits of it, so why we ought to surrender ourselves to conform our wills to His divine providence, and then how. So in these three basic elements, we uncover the secrets of peace and happiness. As the title says, in this we uncover the secrets of peace and happiness, as the title says. And so, in the first part of this short book, we come to understand good and evil, and how God is in control of both good and evil. For evil, the question is often, well, why does God permit evil? Why is there evil in the world? This is a question that's been around for forever, it seems. Short, we come to understand that God permits evil for a greater good, a greater purpose, and His divine wisdom is perfect, so that He could, in His divine wisdom, He is able to lead all things to a greater purpose. So as all things have a natural end, so in the same way, He permits all circumstances to lead back to Him, to His divine goodness, in a way that you can think of maybe like the sun. Its end is to provide light, or we can think of it in a way like a light bulb's end is to provide light. In the same way, all things move to an end. Same for us as people, as individuals. Our end is in God, so our final end is communion with God. So the first part basically encompasses God's divine wisdom and His providence, and then in His second part, it talks about the benefits of conforming one's own will to God's will. In essence, since God's will is ultimately the highest good, the fullness of the goodness, it is goodness itself. By conforming to His will, since He knows what is best for us, rather than us deciding, rather than our own fallen nature, by conforming entirely to Him, we can experience peace and happiness, and ultimately lead to the eternal beatitude we strive for in heaven, right? The last part, he explains how to conform oneself to divine providence, and the entirety of it consists in prayer, in discerning God's voice, and then acting upon it, choosing those things that bring us closer to God, and rejecting those that bring us farther from Him. It also gives helpful benefits, especially in those times of trials. He emphasizes asking for grace of strength and patience to bear trials for as long as God sees fit, rather than asking quick deliverance from trials, as in trials, in adversity, we see what a man truly is, and how because of trials it actually builds virtues. So in all of these senses, it's important to remember that God's perfect plan for us is always a calling, and He wants us to participate with Him, to come into communion with Him by our own free will. So we have choices to make, and through these choices we're able to conform ourselves to His divine providence, His divine will that knows ultimately what is best for us. So this is just a strong encouragement to continue in prayer, to discern the calling, the voice of God in your life, to ultimately find this peace and happiness, to have a foretaste of it in the life to come, that only through our conformity to His divine will can we truly be fulfilled in Him. That is about it for the short summary of trustful surrender to divine providence. And it's all in its entirety. It's really an encouragement to continue in prayer, to discern God's will in our lives, and to be obedient towards it, because it will ultimately lead us to a greater happiness that is not possible otherwise.